We are the City of Barrie Network, supported by local caring businesses.
Still Moving Osteopathy, helping you move better, feel better, sleep better, live better. We bring out the best in you.
Jaxon and Mathew, they're joining us as our intrepid captains. They have, both of them have told me that they like to go fast. So no dawdling this morning, folks. There is a great desire to go quickly and to have a little bit of fun. So if you want to, get a little bit of rivalry going between the teams, that's okay too.
Back in the fall, I was called up by 5 Points Media to talk to a family called the Mitchells. Jaxon is 5 years old and he has a severe disability. He uses a power wheelchair to get around, and he and his mom had wanted to go for a walk to go hunting acorns, like every 5-year-old little boy should be able to do. But they'd had some issues with accessibility in the paths, and so our paths crossed. And this kid just blew me away with how excited he was for life and how much he wanted to do all of the things, like any 5-year-old boy. And I thought, if he wasn't in this chair, he would be the kid who was just running circles around all the adults. So I worked with the folks down at myTEAM Triumph this fall to bring some chairs up in October, and worked within my network to find a couple of kids to give it a trial. And Mathew and Jaxon were able to come along on one of the snowiest days this fall and go for a bitterly windy run around Kempenfelt Bay. And despite the wind and the cold and the snow, that was pretty much sleet at one point right in our faces, the smiles on these boys' faces told the entire story. I couldn't believe how thrilled they both were with the experience.
As a parent, I belong to the myTEAM Triumph Canada team, and I am one of the runners. My daughter Bella has special needs. She is on the autism spectrum disorder on the severe end. She also has a physical disability. 2 years ago, I ran the Toronto Marathon and I bumped into Heather. Heather was being pushed by her husband, Trevor, and I was very intrigued with the chair she was being pushed in. She was telling me that she belongs to a team called myTEAM Triumph Canada, and what they do is they support athletes who have physical disabilities so that they can participate in races along with able-bodied athletes too.
What I saw that day is what I've seen every single time I've been at a race with myTEAM Triumph, is that as the angels come together and the kids end up in their chairs and become the captains of their own teams, these kids have the chance to regain autonomy, regain agency. They have the chance to experience physical, emotional, and mental well-being on a level that is mostly something that they're excluded from. And they have the chance to make memories and become a deeper part of community. But it's not just for the kids. The angels themselves get something so beneficial from it.
I think it's awesome. Out of 10, I give it about a 15. I think it's great that they get out with like-minded kids, runners, enjoy the fresh air, and have a good time.
My father is actually, he's paralyzed from the waist down. He's in a wheelchair. So when I was a young kid, I always pushed my father around in a wheelchair, and I just think of all the advantages I have as a human being. I'm able-bodied. Being able to do this for the community is something wonderful. We always take things for granted, the ability to walk and do things freely. Why not give somebody the ability to see what that feels like? And doing it with something I love, with a passion for running, why not?
I have a daughter who's 17 years old, and she has special needs, and I've had the opportunity over many times to push her in her wheelchair stroller as well, and it brought back great memories of when I was able to push her.
Not one of the folks who participated back in November minded the cold or the snow or the wind or anything. Every single person there had the best run they'd had in weeks that day. They all took the time to come back to me and say, that was so much fun, we have to do this again. This makes it worthwhile for me to come out and train. This is what makes it worthwhile for me to run. So after our run through the sleet, I was talking with Mathew and Jaxon, and I mentioned to them that we were going to be working on getting these chairs for them for the next year. I mentioned to them that this past summer, Trevor and I had run a number of races, including a triathlon, and that every time we ran a race, we got a medal. And I don't know whose eyes lit up bigger at that point, Mathew's or Jaxon's, but they both just went crazy for the idea. And I got emails and texts from their parents for the next 3 days. Mathew won't stop talking about all of his medals he's gonna get. Jaxon won't stop talking about his medal box. He's gonna have a medal box and it's gonna be full of medals. And I tell you, there's something amazingly human about being a 5-year-old or an 8-year-old or a 10-year-old boy dreaming of the medals you're going to get, isn't there?
I think it was a wonderful opportunity for him to be included in something that there's just not a lot of opportunity for in the city. There's lots of running and lots of races that happen around here, and it's just a great chance for him to be included.
When I was pushing him, he was laughing. He just seemed like he was having the time of his life. So it was a lot of fun, and it just felt great to be doing something to give him a lot of joy.
I got a lot of feedback from them. I'll be checking along with each of the boys along the way. You know, how are you feeling? Are you comfortable? Do you want to keep going? And they just kept coming back saying, this is great, you know, let's keep going, let's go faster. And that was really encouraging to me that what we were doing, what we love doing, running, was turning into something that they could enjoy.
They were laughing, and it was a pretty cool day, and the parents of the children were there, and it was great to see everybody out.
I really think it's a great opportunity for the community to get on board and people to support such a great endeavour. So hopefully we can pursue this into the future.
I think that these kids don't have these opportunities, and this is a great chance for them to be included in like this social setting where they can't actually participate, so this gives them the means to do that.
Thank you to everyone on this team made it possible. This is not something we can do by ourselves. This is something we do because everyone shows up and does their part, and it was just amazing to be part of the team today. Thank you.
Yeah, this whole thing is a big team effort.
It's a great race.
Sounds like you're dying, Trevor. Yeah, I'm dying basically.
For a good cause.